So, oh, I have a little time. Well, low key. And I want to do a quick little reading. Quickie, quickie, quickie. Quickie, quickie. I've been liking these cards, so we're gonna use them. Huh. Is that literally the card that wanted to come out? Because I literally was only gonna ask for one card, and one card came out when I literally poured the deck out. Look at this. Look how pretty. The Maiden of Vessels. Oh. Okay. We're gonna put you back, and if you wanna come out again, okay, baby? I kiss her forehead, not her mouth. I didn't ask kiss her mouth. I kiss her bowl, her vessel. T. Anyways, uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Uno, dos. Haha. There we go. All right. Anyways, okay. Ready for it? Ready for it? Whoa. We got one. That's all I wanted. Let's see if it's hurt. It's on the floor though. I gotta get you, baby. Ooh. Huh. So on the back of this fortune cookie, it says summer. And then this, that was just on the floor. I found it at the same time. Anyways, this. Sundance. 12. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3. Wow. This man, you see him? He's like hung up, I think like under his arms. He's like low-key limp, bruh. They're around him. Whoa. That freaked me out. That freaked me out. What does this mean? What does this mean? Sundance. This is a major arcana card. So this is one of like the redone ones that they have, right? Okay, so right? You ready for it? During the mid-1800s, the major tribal ritual performed by the people of the plains was the sun dance. The dance served as a means of thanking the sun for past favors, fulfilling personal vows, and petitioning for protection and blessing for the future. From tribe to tribe, details differed, but in all accounts, it was long and complex ceremony invariably began with the purification of the participants and a sweat bath. in the medicine lodge. Medicine man slit the chest or back of the participant, sliding either one or a pair of skewers through the skin and flesh. Yeah, this is yuck to me. It feels yuck. But I like sun and I like dance, so it's conflicting. But that sounds so yuck. Oh my god. Should I put mousse in my hair? Why are they doing that? Like, you see that, right? Anyways, okay. The skewers were tied with thongs. That must mean tongs. To the top of the center pole. With thong. Okay. And an eagle bone whistle held firmly and blown instantly between his teeth, and the dancer tugged until the skewers were torn away. This is making my back hurt, and I feel like I'm gonna puke. In some tribes, the men stood back and pulled until the thongs were tight. In others, they were lifted off the ground and swung from the tongs until the skewers were torn out. The dance card depicts a participant hanging by skewers in his back, with a wand in one hand and medicine feathers skewered into his other arm. Skewered? It's in his skin. Can you see it? Yuck! It's making my back do things. I can feel it. I don't like it. Okay. The medicine men and other participants sit around the medicine lodge, their personal medicine shields hanging behind them on the wall, and a sacred buffalo skull hanging on the center lodge pole. This card represents the symbolic death, the annihilation of self, that represents the first and final steps of the process of attaining the rank of adept. What the frick does adept mean? Inherent is the idea of sacrifice. It is important to remember the why and how of one's enlightenment, to acquire the knowledge of one's boundless heritage, especially to the Native American. It is necessary to be on good terms with nature and her children, to treat all with absolute respect, acceptance, love, and even worship. So, adept. Very skilled or proficient at something. So, basically, the rank of skill of attaining. Okay. That represents the first and final steps in the process of attaining the rank of skill. So, to be skilled in awakening and in enlightenment specifically, we gotta dig into ourselves and do that. It's a symbolic death. That is terrifying to look at and to think about, just slightly, because my body can like literally physically feel it right now. And yeah, so I'm saying like be on good terms with nature, her children, to treat with absolute respect, acceptance, love, and even worship, right? Now, that is important. What my brain went to when it said the annihilation of self was Midnight Gospel. If you haven't seen it, you should tune in. You should watch it. You should watch it. So bad. So good. That's another one of those phrases that we need to rewire. But just thinking about what's going on in the world and like how we should be like, okay, think about the fires in California, right? Sometimes we're praying for the people and we're praying for the stuff. The stuff is still part of nature. Like, this computer that I'm recording on is part of nature. It was made in nature. They did some things to it. I don't think they make green metal in nature, so you know, whatever. But yeah, there's a certain amount of like, je ne sais, how do you say, como se dice, like everything has a natural aspect to it, right? And so like thinking about like nature and her children, like you are her children, so like in that as well, like this is like sacrifice of self. Like he's like, in this day and age this would be considered self-harm, but because of the intention and the ritualistic aspect of it behind it, it wouldn't be like. But if this was like a repetitive thing, yeah, you know. And so understanding like purposeful and intention, right? Harm with or without intention is important to understand. And 111, as I said that, and 4/2/22. Why am I yawning so much right now? Wow. I could take a nap. I might take a nap, honestly, or just like lay down for a minute. But yeah. Okay. So yeah, so the annihilation of self was one of these things where it was like a little birdie who was talking about like you will keep doing this until you get it right, right? And so like this is like spiritual death, right? Dying, meaning like parts of yourself dying, right? Dying off so that you can be reborn. It's not like that energy leaves you, and it's like the same as like the version of you that's going forward was always in you, right? It just gets recycled. It gets recirculated, right? You know, a button in a car, you can either have the air come from outside or you can recirculate the air. Like once it already heats it up, it doesn't have to keep doing more work to heat it up again. It just keeps recirculating it, right? And so that's important. Somebody needs to look into the art of sexual magic, and specifically like recirculating their sexual energy. Someone needs to look into that. And then on top of that, it says worship and love and acceptance. So you know those things that you do when you're like, I know my body's gonna hate this, but I'm still gonna do it anyways. I don't put creamer in my coffee, but I still tried it because it sounded so good. It was caramel creamer, and I put it in with it was hot cocoa, coffee, and caramel creamer. That sounded real good all together, right? My tummy was gurgling the same way. I literally just had pizza today. My tummy was also gurgling. I got margarita pizza because there's the least amount of cheese on it. And it's good. I will like, my pizza is now selective, right? My pizza is now selective. If I'm going to eat something that I don't necessarily, like I know my body has a bad reaction to, it better be good quality, right? I had some sliders recently. They were Wagyu beef sliders. And I really don't eat meat like that. But it said Wagyu beef sliders with like a Cabernet freaking like sauce or like marinade. And then on top of that, there was like brie and like caramelized onions and arugula. And like, I was like, that sounds bomb, bruh. Like, yeah. And so again, it's like, what is the quality of it? We don't always have to live our lives in such of a strict thing, right? And I think that strictness might actually hold us back from these evolutions. And so understanding that when we are evolving, right, or enlightening ourselves, just give yourself grace and like remind yourself that you are part of nature too. So if you're like, oh my god, I'm an environmentalist and all this, right, and you're trying to like, maybe you don't interact with the meat industry as much because you are an environmentalist, right? Maybe you're doing beach cleanups or something, like, right, whatever. I do my own mini beach cleanup every time I go to the beach, you know? I tell myself I have to bring like one piece of trash bag, right? If I'm just walking around. If I get a bag, I'll like do like the whole thing. I usually still end up trying to carry as much as I can, but like, I'm like at least one. And like little things like that. Reminding yourself that like how you treat yourself, you are also nature. You are also Mother Nature. And like there's this one song, and I think it's Londrell. I don't know, so don't quote me on that. But be like loving on your body, touching on your body, loving on your body. And he's talking about like divine feminine, right? But so like it doesn't even need to be like that. This is a gender neutral type genre, but it's like loving on your own body. Like what makes your body feel good? I know for me, I need more sleep. I've been tired. I've been yawning. 1-5-5-5, right? Different things like that. I need more sleep, right? I feel better when I eat more. Like I've been eating raw recently. Not everything, but just like for a few days, that was all I ate. It was just fruit and veggies raw because my body was like over it. It was like I didn't want to eat anything else. Anything that normally would be like, ooh, that sounds good. Oh, it sounded gross to me. It was like, yuck, get away from me. So I just ate raw. You know what happened? My body's happy again. Just that simple, right? Listening and making sure that you honor yourself, you honor your body, your vessel, and you honor nature as well, right? And community. And like it says, I love this because also what I said was like, hee hee, this one made me happy, and then I'm stuck. But it is necessary to be on good terms with nature and her children, right? And I love that because I feel like they be like talking about like like all God's children, all his children, right? And I'm like, nature and all her children. That still counts us. I'm still not true. You're still not true. Even if my nails is fake, I'm still not true, right? Even if your hair is fake, you still not true. It's, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even if your booty's fake, you're still not true. You were made in the image of Mother Earth. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. Because you're fine and you're divine and you give life. Yeah. Even met with all this strife, you still be giving life. Boom. Anyways, that was it. It's nap time for me because my body needs that, right? I challenge you to do one thing that your body's asking you to do right now. One thing that your body's asking you to do right now. If you have more in you to be challenged, then I ask you to do one thing that you feel like your environment is asking you to do right now. But let's start with our bodies, okay? Love you.